once again, another undisclosed location.
So with YouTube and social media, there's been a lot of deplatforming, and some people have claimed that this is an attack on the First Amendment, and I'm wondering, is it really? Because from what I understood, walking away from the First Amendment, it was freedom of press and an individual freedom to speak against the government with retaliation. Mm-hmm. So we'll give some examples of deplatforming, and we'll quickly go over the First Amendment and see if it adds up. I mean, I think the most notable deplatforming was Alex Jones.
Yeah. And you brought up a great point. Is it somehow stifling the right of free amendment speech when they're on a platform that has their own regulations in regards to this?
Well, essentially, when we signed up for YouTube, and again, it's because we're not violated. We may have we might sing a different song if we get knocked off or something, but you sign terms and agreements, which is a contract. It's a private contract you're essentially signing. So if you violate those, that has nothing to do with your amendment rights. It's the same thing with going to work and bringing up a touchy subject that HR is not going to agree with. You're booted. I fail to see where rights are being violated, but let's get into it. I mean, I think Alex Jones is the most notable one.
What hurt Alex Jones was the Sandy Hook situation.
Right.
Which that kind of spiraled, went off
right.
the rails, as my man Bill Burr would say.
Right.
But still, I mean, like with Alex Jones, I never listened to him for the longest of times, but there are a lot of things I listened to him, I agreed and I disagreed with. But for you to be deplatformed, and there was a lot of guys, Farrakhan, recently. I feel like YouTube threw him in the mix just to make sure that it wasn't on some old...
Let's make sure it's not all right-leaning people. Let's throw him in there for the mix. Yeah,
exactly.
That was definitely... I thought the same.
So what are your thoughts? This was your conversation, so I want you to lead it.
I think we check out our Alex Jones conversation. I think I mentioned this like ages ago. That was like probably 5 months ago when it was like, you got kicked off because you violated the rights and the rights of the contract or breach of contract. And again, you can check out what that is. But essentially, this was not a let me get on with no John Hancock or anything like that. This isn't a platform that necessarily says we're here so you can say whatever you want. This is a global company at this point. It's a corporate. So I mean that all of them are. There's none of them that are claiming you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Would you think it would have been as big of an issue in regards to being deplatformed if they were not if money wasn't an issue? Because once you're demonetized, I mean,
well, YouTube can still demonetize you and keep your shit up there, right? I don't know if that goes for ad sponsors. Like, I think it's up to the ad sponsor to say, I'm not fucking with you anymore, like ZipRecruiter or whoever. I think it's up to them to say. But the algorithms on YouTube, because it's not a 1 person or 10 person or 1 million person job, there's no way to do this. They have regulations, algorithms rather, saying what's suitable or not. So if you had like beheading or something like that in the title or something controversial,
it's gonna find it
right,
and purge it. Yeah.
And I think even in certain contexts, it analyzes context in videos as well. What they see as possibly violent or promoting something negative. And again, it's an algorithm doing it. So yeah, there's definitely room for frustration and shit like that, because it's like, if you're out there trying to really get media and news out there to people, and you're talking about war or whatever, and you're demonetized because you're trying to talk about the war in Syria and the violence that goes on there, that's pretty fucked up. When this is the money you're investing into your brand and stuff like that.
I agree.
There is a lot of double-edged swords and arguments you can make, but let's take a look at again, pulling it up on Google or whatever. The Constitution of the United States of America, 1789, and I guess it was revised in 92. I don't know. So, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise therefore or thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press or the right of the people peacefully to assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. So I'm going to be real. A lot of that was over my fucking head. But I mean, I think it still reverts back to you sign up for Facebook, you sign up even for Amazon. There's a whole bunch of fucking things you need a lawyer to read. But you're agreeing to terms and conditions.
Yeah, what I see is, in regards to this, it's basically saying that you have the right to do this or to speak your own words, but if we, like you say, if you step up into a platform that has certain guidelines, you really have no argument there.
Right. And it gets even worse with a guy like Steven Crowder. He wasn't kicked off YouTube. He was demonetized. So it's just like, you are not being stifled to say what you want. We're just not going to pay you to say it anymore. So you're not to Rogan came to Crowder's defense and he was saying, well, his First Amendment speech is it's not. He can still say it on the platform. He's just not going to get paid to say it.
And that's one thing I feel like these guys, I mean, they're picking up this cross and putting it on their back like, oh, this is unfair. But no, what's unfair is that you're not getting paid anymore.
Right.
But that's unfair to you. It's hitting your pockets, and I understand, but you can't say like it's unfair in general because it's not. They're basically on their platform telling you this is what you need to abide by. If you can't abide by it, then all right, you're not getting the money for this anymore. In regards to advertisements.
There's an argument to make for that, but the argument is not my constitutional rights are being violated. That's absolute bullshit. I think that's my main walk away with it is like your constitutional American rights are not being violated. It's like you're just not getting paid because it doesn't
No one's stopping you from getting that message or getting your point of view out.
You're pissed because you're not getting paid. And yes, Alex Jones can even make the argument of maybe he has a bigger argument to make than Steven Crowder or even someone that is apolitical and talking about fitness but said something off color that was demonetized. Alex Jones still has a better argument. It's like, well, I wasn't demonetized, I was deplatformed. But still, it goes back to what the fuck did you sign up for?
And it also goes.
What's your lawyer saying? What's your lawyer's case?
Exactly, and the lawyer is going to look at it like, hey, man, you agreed to the terms.
Right.
That's it. I have something else I wanted to bring up too. Oh Jesus, I think I forgot. Kind of knee deep into the party. Also, being pressured, like let's say YouTube. What do you call it? The complaints when they report them and everything. Once YouTube sees that you're being pressured for something, YouTube's going to look at it like, all right, do we stand to lose more by keeping Alex Jones with whatever he's saying on, or do we stand to lose more by the people protesting against him, asking him to come off? It's like, it all depends on how many people you're enraging as well, or how many people just are against what you're saying. A perfect example is Tommy Sotomayor. Tommy Sotomayor, he's not deplatformed off of YouTube at all. A lot of his views are just not the norm. And he's a little rough around the edges in regards to what he says, especially in regards to black women. But when it comes down to it, he has so many people that are just against what he's saying. They report his videos so much. They report and his videos are flagged so much where now he's not as a strong presence as he was on YouTube. But it's why? Because you've amassed so many enemies, or there's just so many people against your point of view.
His channels have been deplatformed, and he's had to create channels again. Like, am I right?
Multiple channels.
They've deleted his channel, so he had to go and make another one.
Yeah.
So I mean, he has.
But
been
even those, it's like
deplatformed.
now they're like drones. Yeah. They just like as soon as he creates one, they just start flagging. You know. So, I mean, It is what it is. I guess we've got no dog in the race yet, so
Right.
we can look at it like, dude, it's your own problem, it's your own situation. But possibly, if we were on the other end of that, we'd probably be on the bandwagon of who's Joe Rogan supporting, or just like Alex Jones.
Yeah, but you also should always like I defend Roseanne. I don't think her show should have been taken away from her, and
I thought
I don't
that
think the
was
cultural outlash should have been what it was. But at the same time, the argument you can make is, you know what, you need to take the temperature of what's going on out there before you post, and if you know anything, people are going to harp on you 100%. So at the same time, when it comes to deplatforming and ramifications for your words, you threw it out there. You knew this shouldn't have caught you by surprise. People are going to harp on everything you say. Whether the cultural backlash is appropriate or not, when you do say something, especially when it comes to politics or race, you know what you're getting into. Sarah Michelle Gellar got in trouble for posting a picture of herself in lingerie, saying she was going to not pig out on Thanksgiving. And apparently she was fat shaming. So anything you put out there, be ready for fucking backlash, man.
She wasn't just bigging up herself.
Yeah.
She wasn't showing like she had the confidence for like having a strong will and, you know, just showing off, flaunting off the body that she's worked for.
Right.
She's fat shaming.
And these are the so-called feminists. Like, this is a mother in her maybe 40s, maybe pushing 50s, who worked her
Instead of
ass off
saying,
to get in this body.
Good job
Yeah,
for keeping yourself in this shape.
Well, not every, and it's like the whole thing, that the impossible body image. It's not impossible. Someone got there.
Exactly.
Like, you know, and it's just like, so something so simple like that can catch heat. Why did you start talking about politics, conspiracy theories, and race? Come on, man. Be prepared. Be prepared. Don't snivel with the results.
Yeah.
That's my takeaway.
My apathetic takeaway, I mean, it's apathetic at this point because, it like I said, we have no dog in the race.
Yeah.
So my opinion could be like, hey, man, you're on a platform where you basically signed an agreement or you just agreed with it online. There's not much you can really do about that because, or like a lot of people have done, you know what? Create your own website, then you can say whatever the fuck you want. But if not, you just got to deal with the powers that be. The YouTube is the matrix you're in. Abide by the guidelines. If not, find your own thing, which will be another conversation we'll have. Hotep Jesus. He talks about that, and he talks about it real. It's like, you know what? We need to stop being afraid of worrying about these platforms trying to demonetize us or deplatform us. Make our own stuff. Yeah, there's nothing as big as YouTube right now, but you know, YouTube started as almost nobody's. Mm-hmm. So it all depends on what you have to offer. But that's all I got to say on it.
Me too. Lords of Apathy, I hope this was a good conversation. Good to see you again on this platform, man.
Yes.
Let's be doing some more.
Yeah, let's get some recordings done next weekend. We're going to go see the Jew. So
we're bringing the Jew on, right?
Yeah, we're bringing the Jew on.
He's ready for Friday. I don't know. He thinks we're taking the day off. So we're going to talk about that.
I'm not taking the day off, but Friday night into Saturday. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm ready.
And let's stay sober.
I don't know. We got a million names from, but we're going to have a guest.
Yeah.
First guest.
We've had him before, but I think this is the first when we're on a platform like YouTube.
It's posted, yeah.
Yeah. Holla back. Lords of Apathy.
Happy birthday.